Hello, my name is Yannick. I'm 48 years old and I have been a person with a disability using a manual wheelchair since birth. I attended what was called a regular school until the end of elementary school, and then, due to my learning difficulties, I went to a regional specialized school. I went as far as a vocational baccalaureate in accounting and secretarial work, and since then I have been volunteering up to today in the fields of health, sports, culture, and informatic technology.
When you were in primary school, what were the biggest difficulties you faced?
Problems especially in French, and above all a certain slowness, like my slow handwriting, which meant I could not always keep up with everyone else. As for understanding things, it was a real struggle because I had to manage on my own to follow the pace. I didn't have what today are called school assistants, so my difficulties quickly became obvious. Learning to write was also very complicated. Today I can write, but my partner rereads all my texts.
How were your relationships with the other children?
I explained my situation to them, and there weren't really any problems.
If you had advice to give to an elected official,
Regarding education, more inclusive classes with fewer students per class, and many more school assistants to make life and learning easier from the earliest years.
if I were a teacher, what advice would you give me?
Take much more time to explain, re-explain, and sometimes change the phrasing they usually use, in order to make exercises and instructions easier to understand.
Do you have any final advice for students or parents?
The only advice I could give is not to hesitate to approach the person with a disability. In general, the person will answer you, explain their disability. In any case, we don't bite, we're not mean. The goal is to get to know the person's disability and to show that, in the end, we can all live together. Only the disability might create some distance, but that distance can easily be reduced if there is dialogue and understanding. Everything becomes possible then.
Can you tell us about your sports practice?
I started archery when I was 7 years old. Indeed, in a wheelchair, you might think archery is not for us. But thanks to assistance and adaptations, it is possible to practice, whether just for fun or as a hobby. Mixed participation in archery has already existed for many years, so the inclusion of people with disabilities or women in archery is not a problem. Practicing archery also allows me to meet people and to progress in acquiring a sport. Of course, the equipment has a certain cost, but archers generally buy it little by little over several years. The idea is to practice over the long term, because if it's only for a year or two, the coach will tell you there's no need to buy. The equipment will be lent. It's truly both a team sport and an individual sport, while also being family-friendly and socially cohesive, which I've personally found in this activity. If I had to give advice and make a specific request, it would be to our elected officials, wherever they are, to set up adapted facilities to help clubs develop inclusion, whether in competition or in leisure activities. This means creating accessible grounds with toilets, sinks, and other amenities that we need during sports activities.
What final message would you like to share about sports?
Sport is inclusive, and you shouldn't hesitate to try several until you find the one that makes you feel alive. Whether you choose competition or leisure, simply to be around people. Don't hesitate to practice sport, and it's really very important.